Doctor, my eyes have seen the years and a slow parade of fears without crying. Now I want to understand.
Hey, it's Nate, and today I am doing Doctor My Eyes by Jackson Browne. This is a really fun one with a super energetic and catchy piano part. The rhythms overall are a bit tricky, but I'll break everything down. I'll also go over the cool embellishments he does throughout, though you can always keep it a bit simpler if you need. Let's jump in. Alright, so first off, I recommend you get the chords and lyrics chart. There's a link in the description, and that's going to help you follow along and see where the chords and the lyrics line up with each other. Now, before we even get into the intro, I want to first talk about the rhythm in this song. It's got a very particular swung eighth note feel, and if we don't just get the hang of that first, everything else will be a lot trickier. So the song is in a fast 4/4 time, thinking 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. But we're dividing the beat in half, thinking in eighth notes, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So notice those are swung eighth notes, not straight eighth notes. If it was straight, it'd be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, with the beat divided evenly. With the swung eighth notes, the first of each pair of eighth notes is a bit longer. You can think long, short, long, short, long, short, long, short. So maybe just take a moment and practice that on two Fs like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. If they were straight, it would sound like this. But instead, getting the hang of feeling that in your body is going to be really important as we go. So let's jump into the intro. It looks like that, 4 measures repeated twice. Now we've got an F major chord, F, A, C, that's middle C there, and then an octave lower with my 5th finger, I'm doing an F bass note. For this E flat sus2 over F, it's gonna look like that. So I'm still doing the F bass note because it's /F, and we've got an F, B flat, and an E flat up here. And then for the B flat over F, the only thing you're gonna change here is that top note is gonna move down to a D, still with that F bass note. But right off the bat, we're not gonna do the F triad for those first 2 measures of F. We're gonna be doing that back and forth swung eighth note feel that we already practiced. And it starts out with a little pickup note on the and after 4 of the count off. So you would think 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and you start with the right hand there, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay, then we get to that E flat sus2. Now from here on out, we're not going to be doing the top pulses. We're just going to stick with those quarter notes in the left hand. And the attack of that E flat sus2 chord actually anticipates the measure. It plays on the last eighth note of the previous measure of F. And 1, 2, 3, 4. A lot of the changes in this song do that, though this B flat chord is actually just going to hit on the downbeat. So here's what we have so far. And 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. So the F, which is at the beginning of the line as it repeats around the second time, it does do the anticipation. And 1, 2, 3, 4, and then this one is just on the downbeat. And then anticipated, and then this one does anticipate. And I just want to stop here and say, I bet he didn't play this the same way every time. We're sort of trying to copy the take he happened to do on the recording we all know and love, but I wouldn't get too hung up on getting it exactly as he did it. So one more time for that intro. And 1 and 2 and 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2. Doctor my eyes. And then we are in the first verse. So the verse is really fun. It looks like that. And right off the bat, I want to just mention that I am not going to use the sustain pedal here. I was using it before with a quick lift every time the chord changed, but we want that really detached staccato sound for the verses. So we've got an F major chord, just like we did it before. Then we've got this A minor chord in each of these last 2 measures. And so I came up to my third finger on that A bass note, and then I just dropped my first finger down. So it's an inverted A minor, E, A, and C. For 2 measures. Then we've got this D minor, and I'm gonna go to octaves here. If you can't make the stretch, you could just pick whichever one feels easier or sounds better to you. This is just for 1 measure. And we've got a F, A with the second finger, and D. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we're gonna come to that B flat chord, voicing it the same way we already had in the right, but I'm gonna do this in the left hand, F and B flat. So coming from the octaves, we just sort of collapse our hand and do 5 and 2 there. That gets our 5th finger back where we want it going forward. And then we're back to F for 2 more measures. So I'll just pulse those staccato quarter notes the whole time. But we are going to, with the right hand only, anticipate each change an 8th note earlier. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, the second time around, there is a really interesting difference, and you can consider this optional, but he ends up going to higher versions of the A minor and the D minor that time. So the second pass through starts the same with this A minor, and then for the second measure of the A minor, the hand hops up to just a root position, A, C, and E. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. And then this higher inversion of the D minor, A, D, and F. It just brightens things up and gives a little more development to the verse. And then finally, this second time through, when we're getting ready for the first chorus, when you hit that F, and you're gonna anticipate it with the right hand, we're just gonna go back and forth for those 2 measures on the single F notes. So let me do a full playthrough of that verse as is, and then I will give you the options for some more rhythm and embellishment that he does do before we look at the chorus.
Doctor, my eyes have seen the years and the slow parade of fears without crying. Now I want to understand. I have done all that I could to see the evil and the good without hiding. You must help me if you can.
And I put the sustain pedal back down there, and that would be going into the chorus. So that already sounds good, and if that's all you want to tackle for right now, you can go ahead and skip to the chorus part, but there are some cool rhythms and details he does, like... So I'm going to teach this in 2 layers that you can mix and match, because he mixes and matches them as well. The first is the little melodic moments. So that would be 1. So just at the end of the second measure of F, we have this little melody, A, G, F, and the timing there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. 3 and 4 and 1, going to the A minor. The other place he does essentially the same thing is on the A minor, particularly when you're hopping up to the higher inversion the second time around. And that would be on the B flat. Like that. The one other melodic detail happens as we're sort of finishing up and looping around. So the first time around, after we get to the D minor, so it's this little da 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 on G, F, G, A. The timing being 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, and so coming from the B flat, you can just do single notes there. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then on the downbeat, harmonize it with the fifth, with your fifth finger on C. So we get those two notes together. And then you just pick up the quarter note rhythm there. Then it happens again as we launch into the next repetition, although this time we're already on that F chord. So right off the bat, when you hit that first G note, you can be harmonizing it with the fifth of the underlying chord. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, and 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, and 2, 3, 4. And so on. The other detail that he sometimes throws in is playing with the right hand rhythm and sort of flipping it. So we had talked about the going back and forth in eighth notes, but as soon as we hit the verse, we were just locked in on the quarter notes. Here is what this looks like. He does it very prominently on the very first time of the two Fs in the first verse. So that first measure of F is just together. But the second time you hit once, left, right, and then left. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. And he does that on the A minor as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. And sometimes he combines this rhythm with the melodic moments. So in the very first verse, we've got. So both happening together. But every other time at the beginning of verses, he just sticks with the quarter notes and adds the melody. But he combines them a lot when he goes to the higher A. So get a hang of one or both of these, and then I say just throw them in as you see fit. So let's keep cruising and check out the choruses. The chorus looks like that. It's pretty quick, just 2 lines. And it's mostly going back and forth between D minor and F. And we can do that lower version of D minor just like we did it in the verses. And we're just gonna do a single D bass note with our 5th finger here. And that's for 2 measures. And then we go to F major. So 3rd finger can hit that bass note. And I like doing 1, 2, and 4 there, just so the transition there is really smooth. These 2 fingers stay in the same place. And then we're back to D minor. And then that last C there, we can just do that as a single bass note. I'm just gonna hit a staccato C when we get there. So for starters, we're gonna just do that back and forth swung 8th note feel. And one little quirk of it is that he, on the F, does very prominently accent it and anticipate the measure like we've been doing. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1 and 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1. So notice that when you are on a chord for 2 measures, within those 2 measures, there's also a really heavy accent on the and after 4 of the first one. So on the D minors, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. But I'm going to take it a step further here and add that walking bass line, which is really cool. You're still playing on every count, but we're tracing out a D minor 7 chord here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I would use 5, 3, 2, and 1 for the fingers. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and when you get to the F, we're gonna collapse our hand a little bit and do 5, 3, 2, 1. So it's still a D as that extra note on top that isn't in the main chord. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. And then once again, that C is just by itself. Doctor, my eyes, tell me what is wrong. Was I unwise to leave them open for so long? So This B flat over F is the start of the interlude. It sort of feels like it belongs in the chorus, but I think this is a better way to delineate it. So let's look at that first interlude. It looks like this. It is reminiscent of the intro, except it's only the B flat over F and the F. We don't have the E flat sus2 this time. Once again, we'll be pulsing quarter notes on those left-hand Fs, and we'll do N1, 2, 3, 4, N1, 2, and 3, 4, N1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, before we go into the next verse. So again, that new take on the right hand rhythm is and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1. And you can play it just like that, but here on the recording, he starts doing something for the first time, which is combining the right hand chords with the first finger doing those offbeat hits. So that would be, sounds really cool. So it's a little tricky to coordinate at first, but just remember that where you are hitting the rest of the chord on those couple of hits, you would already be doing the first finger as well. And 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3. 'Cause I have wandered through this. Okay, we're in the second verse. Second verse is just like the first, although you can mix and match where you put the different embellishments. And then we are in the second chorus, which is just like the first chorus. And once again, at the end of the chorus, where you do the single bass note on just say if it's too late for, we're gonna launch into another interlude. But this time, this interlude starts with the E flat sus2. So here is the second interlude, and this is also the guitar solo. And this part is pretty interesting. So just on the first time through the general pattern, we actually stay on the E flat sus2 over F for 2 measures, and the right hand just holds it. In fact, Jackson Browne also just holds it, but we have the bongos going down, and I think just holding the chord here feels not energetic enough for solo piano. So I am going to do the left hand quarter note pulses here. It just hits this B flat on the downbeat. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2. So there's a big hit there when it gets to the F here. And I'm going to hit both hands on the 8th note, anticipating it. So from the B flats, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2. And then you can just pick up the quarter note rhythm on beat 2 in the left hand there. And then we're in the next line. So this next line repeats twice, and there's something unique about it where this B flat, you don't see the slash F. That's because the bass actually just voices the B flat there. And once again, it's going to be a big hit, hands together on that 8th note, anticipating the measure. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2. Same thing again. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we have another line, also repeated twice, but we're just gonna keep this one simple, where the left hand just stays on the F and pulses the quarter notes. And this is the last time, but this time we are going into the last chorus, so in anticipation for that, we're gonna go back to that back and forth thing. But unlike the first time we did that, he does sneak in a little bit more chord action in the right hand. Totally optional, but this is like what we practiced in the first interlude. So throw that in if you like. I also want to mention here as a totally optional challenge. You can't always hear it, but sometimes at least he is voicing all these chords with a high F. It's a bit of a stretch for the fingers, but if you can do it, it sounds kind of nice. So that would be. And if you get the hang of that, you could do that in the first interlude or even the intro as well. But it still sounds great if you leave out that high F. So let me play that whole second interlude / guitar solo section one more time. And we'll do it coming out of the second chorus on Just Say If It's Too Late For Me. last time. So that would be going into the final chorus. So we're pretty much wrapping up here. This last chorus is the same as the other choruses. And once again, we've got the learn how not to cry going into the outro. And it's kind of like coming out of the first chorus where we land in the interlude on the B flat over F. So here's the outro. It is only the B flat over F and the F. And you could do it just like you did the first interlude. You can, of course, omit the first finger there. But I'm going to put it in. So it just repeats like that, and the song fades out. So for my version, I'm just going to go around maybe 4 times, and then on the last one, end on an F and let that ring out. And then the song is over. Okay, thank you for sticking with me. I will now do a full playthrough so you can see how all these parts fit together. If you like this video, please also give it a digital like and subscribe to the channel. If you have not already, be sure to click the bell so you know when I put out more videos like this one. Thanks for learning with me, and here is my version of Dr. My Eyes.
Doctor, my eyes have seen the years and a slow parade of fears without crying. Now I want to understand. I have done all that I could to see the evil and the good without hiding. You must help me if you can. Doctor, my so long. 'Cause I have wandered through this world, and as each moment has unfurled, I've been waiting to awaken from these dreams. People go just where they will. I never noticed them until I got this feeling that it's later than it seems. Doctor, my eyes, tell me what you see. I hear the cries, just say if it's too late for me. Doctor, my eyes cannot see the sky.